If you're planning on buying any cards from TCG Player, make sure you use our affiliate link right here in the description of our video to help support the channel. It's the best way to do it and it's free. Looking for PTGO codes? Potown Store has all the latest sets and promos instantly delivered to your email. You can use Tablemon code when checking out for 5% off. Card Market is Europe's largest online marketplace for Pokemon cards. Whether you're looking for sealed product or singles, vintage or the latest sets, just follow the link in the description to find what you need. Want to show off your love for Tablemon? Check out my 2021 merch. These new hoodies and shirts are available on Amazon. Click on the link in the description to get yours. This video is sponsored by the Pokemon TCG deck building website PokemonCard.io. Hello everyone and welcome back. We are doing a different style of video today. We're going to be taking a look at the top 5 decks that showed up at the Full Grip Games tournament that had a $2,000 prize pool, which is really impressive, and Riley Hubert ended up winning the whole thing with Duraludon Arceus VSTAR. So already Arceus putting in the work and making a name for itself in the tournament scene, and this was a real live tournament, so I do believe it was closed decklist, which factors into a tournament pretty hugely, especially being the first one of its kind. And yeah, really impressed by the deck and the results. We knew that Arceus with Duraludon was a pretty good combination, but to see it outright win the first tournament will likely lead to seeing a rise in this version and this deck in particular for the upcoming week. So I wanted to showcase the decks that you can expect to run into in the ladder and also in the online tournament scene. So you have Arceus VSTAR combined with Duraludon VMAX, as the ability Skyscraper does prevent all damage by attacks from opponent's Pokemon that have special energy attached. And as we end up going into this Arceus VSTAR world that is filled with double turbo energies, then it is a great way to wall things off and deny damage, along with the good old knowledge of Duraludon VMAX walling Mew VMAX that has Fusion Strike energy. So pretty tanky Pokemon, which is really nice to see. Riley did play a copy of the Single Strike Mustard to help it set up a Duraludon VMAX without having to take a turn to evolve, which I really like. Difficult to pull off, I would say, most of the time, but if you combine your Starbirth ability with that, then that probably makes it a lot easier to empty your hand other than the Mustard and get the Duraludon into play. Now, of course, we can power up with Trinity Nova our Duraludon and Duraludon VMAX and get those ready to attack. So it's a Duraludon VMAX that applies a lot more pressure than the previous variant, and we have Big Charm to increase our HP or Choice Belt to increase our damage output, along with 4 Collapse Stadium, which is really helpful. It's not as good as Path to a Peak against Mew VMAX, but it does help in consistently removing threats, removing options for Mew VMAX, and also we could use it at some point in order to remove a damaged V or something that could be targeted. Now, we only play 6 Pokemon total, so it's not going to be a common occurrence, but that also means we're never going to really be hurt by our own stadium, so that's always really good. Yeah. Outside of that, we have maximum consistency with 4 Research, 4 Marnie, 4 Boss, 4 Ultra Ball, and 4 Quick Ball, and 4 Pokegear, so a lot of consistency in this build, which I really like, and that would be what I consider a top deck to look out for in this upcoming week. Next up, we have Sableye Weezing. So Sableye Weezing, or Weezing Moltres, also did pretty well at the event. It actually had the most showings in top cuts, and it has become a fairly known archetype through the course of Fusion Strike, and since Mew doesn't seem to be going anywhere, and we still have VMAXs all over the place, and we gained some new options for the deck. I do expect this deck to remain very good. So first off, we have Galarian Weezing with a neutralizing gas ability to stop abilities from opponent's Pokemon, which is always good, as there are a lot of Pokemon that rely on abilities. And we also have the Galarian Moltres, which gets stronger as the game goes on, has attack Fire Wrath, doing 20 damage plus 50 more damage for each prize card your opponent has taken. So it's at its strongest in the last turn of the game, essentially. And the Malevolent Charge ability allows you to bench the Pokemon and attach to Darkness Energy onto it when you do so. We also have Hoopa to apply a little bit of pressure with Assault Gate and get those damage counters going, or that previous damage, in order for Sableye V to potentially get a solid knockout with a crazy claws attack doing 10 plus 60 more damage for each damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon. So really nice combination to see. Right here we also have the Inteleon line to help us in applying those damage counters with the quick shooting, but the main way we're going to do that is through Hoopa or Weezing's Severe Poison, putting 4 damage counters through poison in the checkup phase. I was going to say checkout, but checkup phase. We also have Coco for the free retreat. Allure can sometimes be situational useful, but more importantly, we have the free retreat pivot most of the time in play, so that we can make sure we go into the right attacker, be it Sableye, Hoopa, or Moltres. We can power up Sableye in one turn thanks to right hand, but we can use right hand to power up Moltres as well, which is really nice, or even Inteleon if we need to attack with it in some situations. We have 4 research, 3 Marnie, 2 buzz disorders, and 2 copies of Clara, which are the special card of this deck that makes it really work. You get to put 2 Pokemon from your discard pile into your hand, and or put 2 basic energy cards from your discard pile into your hand. You may choose one effect of these 2 or both. Usually you'll choose both, so it's Pokemon recovery and energy recovery, which plays really nicely with the Moltres so that you get back the energies and get to power up in a single turn. Outside of that, we have energy searches and training cord to recover and find energies, along with Ultra Ball, a copy of Ultra Ball, Quick Ball, Level Ball, and Instance to search for our evolutions, and a Choice Bell to help increase our damage output and make sure that Moltres can potentially get a one-shot on anything by doing 300 damage, and then with some previous quick shooting damage counter placement, you could eliminate basically anything, even if they are not weak to you. So pretty solid deck, pretty good archetype, and it's good not only against Mew, so I do expect this deck to continue to be a very big threat in the metagame. Now, let's take a look at our next deck. Our next deck is this Gengar VMAX deck. Single Strike still making a big appearance in the metagame. This deck also showed up at the top 8. All of these decks are from the top 8 from the Full Grip games. I don't remember the names of the players, but I'll leave links to their deck lists and their Twitter posts down below if I can find them. We have Gengar VMAX, obviously a really powerful attacker with the Fear and Panic, doing 60 damage for each Pokemon V and Pokemon GX in play. Obviously Pokemon GX doesn't matter, but Pokemon V does, as everything is V in the current metagame, so if your opponent overextends with their bench, you can easily get KOs with that, and the bonus damage from Single Strike Energy and now Choice Belts. But the main attraction here is the G-Max follow-up, which does base 250 damage with a choice belt that's 280, so easy knockout on something like Arceus VSTAR, for example, and the Single Strike Energies just pile on the damage, and you're able to take an easy one-shot on other stuff as well, essentially any VMAX, so that's very appealing for Gengar. And being Dark type also gives you almost an auto win against Mew VMAX, and having the Fighting type Urshifubi helps you in the mirror match and also helps you against random Jolteons that might still pop up despite Manaphy being released. Hanum helps us powering up with a Single Strike Roar, allowing us to search for Single Strike Energies and attaching them to Single Strike Pokemon. And then we have Ultra Ball as an inclusion into the deck, replacing the 4th copy of Battle VIP Pass, 4th copy of Cramomatic, and 4th copy of Pass to a Peak, essentially. We have a bunch of supporters for consistency. We have our Ultra Balls, we have our Crobats, we have our Pass to a Peaks to make sure that we can get past Duraludon, and we can, not easily, but we can definitely one-shot even a big charm Duraludon with a Choice Belt and 3 is it? 280? No, actually all 4 Single Strike, but we can one-shot a Duraludon. There is merit to playing a Tool Scrapper as well to help you with that, but especially given how Duraludon will be a force to be reckoned with in the metagame, there might be merit to playing some sort of tool removal for those pesky big charms. But other than that, this deck is very straightforward, very powerful beatdown, and will continue to be played because of how straightforward and powerful it is. It's hard to make mistakes with this deck, I would say, and it's very consistent, and it's very good and self-sustaining as well, as it relies on ability that is not stopped by Path to the Peak. Alrighty, next up we have good old Mew VMAX. This deck was played by Terry Nomura, the highest placing Mew in the field. Now, this doesn't mean I consider Mew to be the 4th best deck, it's just it ended up doing really well, and Mew is still, I think, the public enemy number 1. That's why you're seeing so much Dark And Duraludon also countering Mew with its ability. It's like, if you're not playing Mew right now, you're probably playing something that wants to beat it by being dark or by denying abilities at the very least, and a combination of all of that as well. Mew VMAX was the very powerful attacker with a cross fusion strike attack, choosing one of your bench fusion strike Pokemon's attacks and using it as this attack, so you can copy Melodious Echo or, more importantly, Technoblast to do a very solid amount of damage. Choice Belt helps in having essentially permanent power tablets to get those one-shots on opposing Pokemon VMAXs and or VSTARs, and then the rest of the deck is as standard as it has been for most of the Fusion Strike era. However, Darren did make space for 4 Pokemon catchers, so instead of playing that extra Boss's Orders or 2, he's playing 4 Pokemon catchers as they are playable and burnable essentially during your turn much more easily than Boss's Orders, and allows you to play less Sparkle to get those Fusion Strike energy into play and still allow you to take a knockout with Pokemon Catcher on the desired Pokemon, right? Which sometimes you can force situations where if your opponent's not playing Pokemon Catcher and they're out of energies and they don't have access to a dull turbo energy, or at least before Brilliant Stars came out, then your opponent could not unless a Sparkle and Boss in the same turn, essentially making it impossible for them to win. So Darren went for this Pokemon Catcher build, which I do like. It adds coin flips to the Chromatics, but coin flips seem to be the name of Pokemon lately. We do seem to be headed in a very good direction for the game, though. I think V-Stars will definitely be the fix that we needed for the game, very, very much so for the last 2 years since the Sword and Shield era, but that's besides the point. This list is pretty powerful, pretty straightforward, and I think the only downside to it is the lack of the 4th counter stadium for Path to the Peak. But on the other hand, with the release of Manaphy, the only deck really that was playing for Path to the Peak was Jolteon VMAX at this point. So with Jolteon VMAX seeing a lot less play, the risk of running into a 4 Path to the Peak deck also goes down way much more. So it goes down a lot more. That was weirdly said. It goes down so much more, and therefore you can forego the 4th stadium counter, I guess. So yeah, Mew just being Mew, doing Mew things and being really powerful and straightforward. And finally we have this Bird Box deck, which did pretty well. Most people are trying to play this with Arceus VSTAR. I myself have been trying this out with Arceus VSTAR, but there's no questioning the consistency of Inteleon. There's someone in my YouTube comments that continues to post how bad Inteleon is and how it takes up so much space, and so like you're playing less than 60 cards, but if you can't understand how good Inteleon is, how powerful Shady Dealings is, and how really good it is to just have a Sobble down, and how much safety that provides in terms of being able to find the cards that you need when you need them. Like, you really need to study up on the game and how engines work and just get a feel for the decks, you know? But this deck tries to pivot with the common weaknesses being played right now. So obviously the dark types, the dark Moltres, the V and the non-V are there for Mew VMAX. The Zapdos is there for potential Jolteons, for Gengars, and for Arceus V-Star. And then the Zamazenta is in there for Ice Rider, as it did seem to be going. It was presumed that would pick up in popularity combined with Arceus V-Star, which is very true. But also the attack Revenge Blast does 120 plus 30 more damage for each prize card your opponent has taken. So if they have taken 5 prize cards, that's a bonus 150 damage. That means you're doing 270 plus the Choice Belt, that's 300, and then a cheeky quick shooting, that's 320, which is usually enough to 1KO most VMAXs out there. So only a copy of Choice Belt, not a very common scenario, but can be a good Pokemon to utilize to trade off at some point. And then just Suicune is really good overall, with a Blizzard Rondo doing 20 damage plus 20 more damage for each benched Pokemon. Now, since we do play Water Energies, we can definitely play Melanie. We play Energy Searches and Energy Recovery to make sure that we have the right energy at the right time, or for the right Pokemon, and we also have access to Right Hand along with Energy Switch, so we can power up in one turn. Usually if our opponents suspect or they see that we are playing Galarian Zapdos V, they will try to limit the amount of Pokemon V on their bench to 1, and they're active, which is attacking. That means Fighting Instinct will only decrease 2 colorless for Thunder's Kick, but then with a simple energy switch or through right hand we can get those 2 energies for Galarian Zapdos V to get its attack off. And most Arceus decks are not playing Dunsparce, therefore you should be able to take them down through weakness. Now we do have the Melanie engine along with right hand, couple of copies of Marnie and Research to help us out throughout the game. Quick Ball, Level Ball, and Ultra Ball for Search, and Energy Discard, which can be important for this deck, especially Waters. A copy of Clara to get back the Moltres or other Pokemon that we might need, along with, once again, the correct energy, and finally Boss's Orders to target down Pokemon. So this deck's name is Flexibility. The rest of the decks are combination of Flexible plus Straightforwardness, but this one requires you to adapt in order to secure your win, choose your attackers wisely, and figure out a game-winning game plan that way. So yeah, let me know if you like this style of top 5 deck video. I can try to do this for Mondays, like after regionals, after big tournaments happen, which seems like we're now going to start having big tournaments every weekend or every other weekend, especially with regionals starting up soon. So I am looking forward to doing this sort of thing more often. If you want to see more of this, let me know, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.